Hello everybody. This is the anti-Gambit guide for Black Part 1, and we're looking at King's Gambit. In this video we're going to look at King's Gambit accepted, Quid Gambit line, which is a very sharp continuation with all sorts of technical and positional possibilities. And it is actually a line that I've played with some success in the past. But I should warn you here that it's a double-edged sword, and where black is willing to sacrifice material and hence the name Quid Gambit, also black has to be extremely cautious because white has some excellent tactics going for him in this line too. So let's look at it. It's e4, e5, f4, and this is King's Gambit. E takes f4, King's Gambit accepted. Knight f3, that's King's Knight's Gambit, and not g5. g5 is the main line for Quid's Gambit. The idea behind this line is, of course, first of all, to back the f pawn up with g5. So this pawn is not vulnerable anymore. Also, the main idea behind this flank attack is to bring this queen up to h4 after pushing the g5 pawn up to g4. And so to attack the king and to have all sorts of possibilities open for black. So I'm going to show you two quick games that I played, and what's interesting is that both games started in a similar fashion, and one of the games only went to 8th move and white resigned. The other game, however, was quite different. Just wanted to show you some interesting possibilities in Quid's Gambit. So g5, d4, this is a game I played online, 5 minutes, quick game, and after d4 I went g4, so I pushed the pawn up to drive this knight out from the f3 square, where it prevents my queen to come up to the h4 square. And my opponent played knight e5, placing the knight on a central square. This is a standard reply to these lines. Actually, you can find all these lines in the opening theory books. Queen h4, check. So I continued with my idea of attack. g3, f takes g3, and queen takes g4. Now this is all very standard. You can find it in almost any opening book. Here, however, black has two different ways of replying. One is to take this queen and white can take back with the knight and the game can continue. Most probably the next move from the black side would be to bring out his knight to f6, or to bring this bishop out to b4, checking the king, or bringing this queen's knight out to c6. So the game would continue. But I chose instead to continue in a bit sharper way and pushed my g pawn up to the second rank. Now, this can be met with queen takes h4 because the king is in check, and so no other moves can be made really. And queen can take this queen here, and I can take, promoting to queen on h1. And this is a standard way of continuation, I think. But my opponent made a mistake here and moved his queen to g3. Now, queen g3 is a losing move. It's a blunder because queen takes queen, check, and h takes g3, and then g takes h1, queen. Now, white has lost his queen, and black wins the game. So after queen g3, my opponent saw that he made a bad move and resigned right after making the move queen g3. Anyways, another of my games continued in a similar fashion, and here queen took on h4, and I took h1, promoting my pawn to queen, and now knight takes f7, very sharp continuation. Now, this was a game that I played in a club, in the Sultan Khan Chess Club actually, and I thought for a long time here. We were playing the standard time of 1.5 hours for first 40 moves and then 1 hour for the rest of the game. So I took my time. I think I thought for 20 or so minutes here, because if king takes f7, then it's very, very difficult to save the game, for example. You can see that the king is vulnerable, the queen is almost trapped on h1, which is a bad square for the queen. And I calculated that it was very difficult for me to save the game. So instead, I didn't take, but pushed my pawn up to d5. After which he replied with h5, and I took the e-pawn. Queen takes e4 check. He brought his bishop to block. I went bishop e6, and he took on h8. Knight takes h8. I moved my king to d8. Bishop g5 check. King c8. And here I offered my opponent a draw, and he thought for about 10 to 15 minutes, and he accepted. So the game was drawn. But the point here is, if we go back to the opening moves of g4, this is a very sharp continuation. After g5, you can see all sorts of things happening here, all sorts of fireworks going on for black and for white. Both the sides have lots of combinational ideas, lots of tactics going for them. And after d4, g4, again driving the knight out of the f3 square, the ideal defensive square. And after knight e5, queen comes to h4 check. So this is the idea behind Quid Gambit. And like I've shown you from my two very short games, there are all sorts of possibilities for either sides. I've enjoyed playing in this line. You play in this line sometimes and tell me what you think and how you found this line. But we're going to look at a couple of very instructive games in the Quid's Gambit in next two videos, one or two videos, and wrap the subject up. So thank you for watching.